it's such an important time for us all to come together so that you realize you're not alone. Nobody's alone. But the thing is, the isolation just make us like sometimes go crazy. And if you're not used to it, and if you're not just isolated by yourself with family, that can be even worse sometimes. So I'm just appreciative that, you all are here for this time and to say where you're at. So I just want to see, some comments from you all in the chat box. What's the level of your anxiety, fear, whatever it is, the number, the higher it is, close to 10, the higher it is, you're really gripped, or if you find that, I have someone here saying 8, Sharon, thank you. If everybody is like on the ding dong bell of it, right? It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So the start of it, you want to question yourself, why is it so high? Like I see 7 and 9 and 8. It's an interesting phenomenon because at the end of the sessions, if you look at it, you go down to 0, less than 5, 3, 2, what is happening here, right? Your situation hasn't changed. All you've done is you sat here and you're listening to somebody, go on and on. Sometimes we meditate. And as we are doing it, you realize your consciousness is shifting. Remember, even the first session, we talked about the 3 common levels of consciousness we are at. You're waking, you're in a wake state right now. The dream state, we all have had dreams. This is a very human phenomenon. And the third state of consciousness is deep sleep. How do you know? You wake up, oh, wow, I had a good sleep. How do you know? Your mind was inactive, but consciousness was present. The eternal, ever-present witness in all our lives was present. So you want to be aware that there's an eternal witness about you. And that's where you went at the end of the meditation. And that's where we go, wow. And that, the ancients called it the true self. That's the part of us that sees the witnessing everything that's going on. So if we get caught up in some things, what's the catching up? What's that about? It's your thoughts. And again, I've recounted this. Your feelings are coming only from your thought. You're thinking about particular situations. So if you're thinking in a certain way about a situation, it will give rise to feelings. So if it's a scary thought you have, and it may be even before the situation, even before the pandemic, you've always had thoughts. Ever since a child, you've had thoughts. You watched your parents have thoughts about, financial fears or health fears. And you find that this period now, the current time, is bringing it up to the surface. So, but it's a particular way you're thinking about it. And thoughts give rise to feelings. And the third important thing is that we have 70,000 thoughts every day. So it's like a wave. You can't just say, well, I like that wave. I don't like any other wave. I like that one. You can't go and prevent that wave from coming in. Some people have talked to me about, can I control my thoughts? Can I make it more positive? Can I don't have to worry about negative thoughts anymore because I can control those thoughts? No, it's like controlling the weather. Nobody knows how to control the weather. Nobody knows how to control your thoughts. Nobody knows how to control the wind. You go with the wind. Like, when you're sailing, you go with the flow of that wind, and, you use your sail and you try to adjust to the wind, in your back. So the question then becomes, so if I have negative thoughts, what do I do? Right? And I just want to see people, if they're 5 or less, it's good. But anything above 5, and you may get periods of it, what is your predominant fearful, anxious, worry thoughts that's coming? Yeah, it's good to shift into neutral. Yes, Evelyn, thank you. So that's the question. How do I shift into neutral? When I go into the peace, my true self, so one of the analogies I give, these are all analogies, metaphors, because humans learn better with metaphors. It's like going, and Dana was talking about this, going on an elevator. It's like one of those glass elevators that you can go up, to the 72nd floor. And then you look down, or you're in a hot air balloon, and you look down and you see the traffic jam on the 405, Dan's favorite. I say, oh my God, there's that traffic or our I-95 or any one of those, highways that give rise to a lot of traffic jam, if you're caught in the traffic, if you're down there, it's not fun because you're caught in that stress. But when you go up on a hot air balloon or on a glass elevator and you look down, it's like, oh my God, look at those squiggly little ants. What are they doing in there? Oh, they should go this way. And you can, direct the traffic if you can, right? That's what, the traffic, hot air balloons and helicopters and truck weathermen, they give us that information from that, thousands of feet high up in the sky. So when you go into your true self, you are having the 10,000 feet, that higher vintage point. And what is the vintage point? Higher level of consciousness, because your thoughts have dropped. And that's where you're looking down at the situation. And then you're seeing very clearly, what do I need to do? Which exit do I need to take? What's in front of me? So your true self knows everything. And I particularly want to have a shout out to Jeffrey. You sent me this very interesting email, and we had a dialogue on it, like, dreams and, what they're talking about, in our lives. Yes, you can have dreams that predict the future for you, but you have to learn how to do it. So it's a very, very important thing that as humans, when we have that higher level of consciousness, and all we need to do is be aware of our thought, our narratives coming about a situation, and that thoughts give rise to feelings in the moment. Next feeling may come, next thought may come, but if the direction is all about anxiety, worry, and fear, you're going to pass that package on to people around you. So it's like, it's part of the expression, but it's very graphic. It's when you're full of crap, don't pass it on. Take the break in the toilet room. Give everybody else a chance to process their own stuff. Because if you have a room full of very anxious or, messed up, thoughts and feelings, if they don't know what's happening, nobody can make the right decision. That's why you see some of the leadership. It's all controlled by fear and self-interest and anxiety. So it's exactly as Evelyn, said this. How do you shift to neutral? How do you shift into the higher vantage point? Learning to meditate regularly with these sessions is a very, very important part, but also understanding that your mind is going to give 24 hours a day, all right, a narrative about the situation. Don't get caught with your thoughts about the situation, because we have formed habits and programs that we believe our thoughts, and especially if they're negative thoughts, there's a peculiar fascination. Like, when some of us here would love to see a scary movie and we scare ourselves, but we know it's a movie. So then we leave the theater and say, oh my God, that was a damn good scary movie. We enjoyed the show, or you go to any one of those the fearful shows, but you're going in for the fear. You don't go run to the screen and you take a knife or a gun and you shoot the screen and the picture in that. You don't do that, unless of course you're totally mentally deranged. You don't do that. But why is it that in our life, whatever our thoughts tell us, we completely believe it? And our thoughts are always complaining. If you notice your habit, remember I said the 5 things: complaining, judging, criticizing, blaming, whining. It's very important you catch it. Okay, I'm whining again. There's always, everybody has a modus operandi. I'm complaining again. Oh, the government, or Trump, no Trump. The people are doing this. We don't have enough of this. And you notice that running commentary. The commentary, it's like, wow, it's gripping. The situation is there, the isness, but it's also the commentary. And you want to be aware that, it is what it is. How do I make the best of what I have? Unless you come from that creative, the compassionate part, the self-care part of you, your true self, you ain't gonna know. I hate to pour water on anyone who says that, if I'm stressed, I can think the best. No, you don't. Just ask Max, Dan's son, and we were talking about it. He's a creative person. Many of you here are very creative. I know your backgrounds. That creative urge cannot come when you're so stressed out. Imagine your school days, when you had to do exams or your professional board exams. When you're really stressed out, you can go blank. You can write things and do things that you thought, my God, why am I doing this? So the reason why I have a shout out for Dan's son, Max, is he's written some wonderful ballads. Wonderful. If you don't know, email or text Dan, the latest one that Max wrote as a tribute to his grandmother, I believe, who passed on. It just made me cry. And I know because it touched my heart, it has to come from the heart. It was just so beautifully done. That's what we are capable of. I'm not saying all of us, have to write songs or poems or anything, but the creative side to us in the moment thinking will come with we need to. So the last session, I'm starting with the last session for those of you who haven't listened to it, we did something that was a guided imagery, the Maypole meditation. How many of you have listened to it or, enjoyed that, and you found that your stress level, when you connect to the stars, when you connect to, all the trillions and trillions of being, you're just like, wow, my stress level just came down. And my memory of who I was being, it was like the true self. Remember the 10,000 feet above, like, wow, I don't have any thoughts. So how many of you got that with that meditation? It takes a few minutes before I can see. And you find that when you are connected to people or beings, it could be animals, it could be the stars, it could be anything on the planet, trees, mountains. It's like, wow, all three of us, Melanie, Peterson, to everyone, good. That connection is the most important thing to get people into their conscious, their true self. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go there all the time, but the fact that it's there, that space is there. And when you had it, it's like, wow, if you know you have it, even when you're going through your hell, okay? When you're going through hell, it's there. It just brings comfort because that's the deepest part of you. That's where the resilience is coming from. That's where the creativity is coming from. That's where the understanding is coming from. That's where you have many people, the creative urge to write books or to write songs. I have many people, clients who come to me for that. They're at a writer's block and they don't get past that. I tell them, no, it's not, you cannot think through it. You've got to go into yourself. So it's not just meditation, it's understanding where it comes from. That the commentary side, what keeps me away is all those thoughts that I'm making a commentary about the situation, I'm blaming, complaining, judging. How do I just be with myself? And the thing is, the commentary will always be there. That's why your ego thoughts. So whatever we do in life, from this moment forth, you can keep an eye on, wow, I'm doing a commentary on situation, but it looks so real. It really isn't. When you meditate and you look at it again, it shifts. Who shifted? Your consciousness shifted. My consciousness became clear. And when you have clear, you're like, wow, I can think again. I'm not muddled up in my thinking. And I can see the way. So when you have that perspective, when you have that kind of perspective, you're like, wow, I didn't see this. It was staring at me, in front of me. There was an opportunity here that I was totally missing out on. And that's what happens to us when we catch it. Okay, my mind, I'm going to put you in a pigeonhole, a keyhole or whatever, a post box or whatever you want to put it. Put your thoughts there and just look at it clearly from that added advantage of being in your true self. And then look at the situation again. Now, because of lack of time, we couldn't do a little bit more on that. But I do want to get you into the sense that it's a very easy phenomena for human beings. And that's why I've put together the stress solution session for you. For those of you who are doing the ups and downs, for those of you who are clear, who are like, I'm happy, I meditate and I understand where the stress levels are coming from, this is not for you, right? But for those of you who are like going up and down, and I get it when I meditate, and then the rest of the time I lose it because my mind is doing 24 hours chatting to me, and it's very worrying. The direction I'm facing is worrisome. Book your session, your stress solution session, and I will give you here again. Rivka, maybe you can post it here again for those who just come in late, because it's very important to have a session where you can create a crystal clear vision of where you want to go in life and how to be productive without stress. So it's very important to have a vision that, hey, if I lived my life from this higher level of consciousness, my true self, how do I get to where I want to go? Right? Every one of us have an idea where we want to go, what we want to do. If those of you who don't have it, come on for the call. And then at least we can get that idea from your inner side, inside, without the fear and the blockage of all those commentary thoughts. What do you want to go? That's why you need a crystal clear vision of where you want to go and what you want to do to live a stress-free, productive life. The second thing we're going to uncover is those hidden challenges that might be sabotaging your success and keeping you stressed out without you being aware of it. Again, I repeat, uncover the hidden challenges. We don't want to go say to you, hey, these are the challenges I have. No, there are hidden challenges. Somebody who's trained to hear what you're saying will point you in the direction of, do you want to take a look at that? What else is coming up for you? And then he'll say, oh my God, I never saw this challenge. It's a hidden challenge, just sabotaging your success and stopping you from living a stress-free life. And it's very important to get these hidden challenges, because that's what's running the show. You may think it's the thing that's at the top of my mind. No, it's the hidden challenges. And the third thing that we want to do is that we want to get renewed, re-energized, and inspired how to go forward. Because without inspiration, without renewal, without the re-energizing, how can you move forward to a stress-free, productive life? And somebody was asking me, Vijay, how can you have a stress-free, productive life? Yes, you can, if you come from the vantage point of that true self. How can I get the true self? By understanding what it is, that your thoughts and feelings are interlinked, and that situation cannot cause the stress. It's your feelings and your particular way you think about certain things. And that came from whatever it came from. But right now, you have a situation where my thoughts are not productive. They are not helpful. And I can't stand my life right now. Things like that will always come up. And it's only your feeling and thinking. So you want to really address it and see, how can I move from here? How can I just be up and down, playing yo-yo with my life and with my thoughts, at the mercy of my thoughts? No, you don't have to be. And I'm reminded of a quote by Shakespeare, like when he said that nothing is either good or bad. Remember? But thinking about it makes it so. So it's your thinking and your thought. If anybody has got an indication that they have thought about this, please write on the chat box that, yes, I know my feelings are coming from my thinking, but my thinking is very particular direction for some things in my life. I cannot look at it. I cannot think of it in a more hopeful manner, right? So when that happens, you want to really take a look at wow, what is this situation? It's a global pandemic. There are 7.4 billion people on the planet facing this right now. It's global. So what is this telling us? Why is it here? Go to your consciousness, go to your true self. And for those of you who are very, very intuitive, a couple of you here are very, very intuitive. All of us can be intuitive. It's right. Wow, it just shows, it reveals. So I watch news to get the facts, but the news is upsetting. Then don't watch it, Deborah. Watch it maybe once a day. Cut down your appetite on news. That's what I do here. Just once a day, okay. And then after a while, it just gets boring. But more the creative side, exploring your inner consciousness and say, how can there be good in this, right? Ask a question, how can there be any good in this? And then you start seeing messages coming from the other channels. Hey, the geese and the sheep and the goats are out on the streets of your favorite cities. I said, how can that be? and the smog is clearing. Okay, but so what? My life sucks. Okay, so you can go with questions like that to your consciousness, right? And those of us who are trained, it can help you with like looking at, wow, what are my dreams trying to tell me? I love Jeffrey's, query on that, because that shows that he's thinking about, where is this consciousness? Where is this true self? And I feel so peaceful. The problem is most people don't know how to use that to steer their life forward. If your GPS is broken or you don't have a GPS, you cannot go from point A, where you're at now, to where you want to go, point B. There's no such thing. You have to use a GPS. So if you can get this, that, a GPS is important, so just write it there. I use my GPS to go from point A to point B. You have an internal GPS, God positioning system. Why are we using it? God, intelligence, whatever you may call it. There is the consciousness that gives rise. You read about other people's stories and you wonder, where's mine? When's my turn going to come up? And I say to you, your turn is right now. And what is stopping it? Your imagination and memory, your attitudes, your expectations, all thoughts. So use this time to come and look at, where are my thoughts going? How do I scare myself? You cannot scare yourself. You cannot scare yourself with your thoughts. You created it. It's part of your God-given gift. It's a part of all of us. And the funny part is, there are a lot of people who think about the future. Oh, we don't have food coming in, or we won't have this. And what happens if, blah, 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 blah happens. I'm going to ask all of you, do you know what your next thought is? Do you know what your next thought is? In 5 minutes from now? Anybody? No. Nobody knows your next thought. And yet we have 70,000 thoughts all floating in our divine mind there, in our personal mind, and then there's divine mind. And when divine mind, the part of our consciousness, our true self, aligns itself with our personal mind, the stress level comes down. Because we are naturally at soul level, at our soul level, at our deepest essence, we are calm and peaceful. We are happy. We're happy creatures. Until the commentary comes in. Now, if it doesn't need all of us, a critical mass of us are looking at that question. We can raise our consciousness. We can function from where we are and who we are. What would the world look like? You don't have to die and cross over and, to have that. But for some of us, yes, we're staring death in the face. And we've had many of our advisors here, they have moms and dads in nursing homes, and you're seeing people, dying from this disease, the Covid-19. It is real. It's not real. But the death itself, when they pass on, they're freed. All texts tell us that. But we may miss them because we love them. We get attached to people in our lives. And we look at things and they scare us. But know that when they cross over, that they're freed. And all of us are facing death. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It really isn't. It's the most natural thing in the world. Like birth, where were you before your birth? That's where you're going to go. And learning to understand that true self of yours, that level of consciousness, and it's like clean air or clean energy. And being able to function from that space and looking at your challenges, okay, the challenges are here, but not making it to mean about you. It's the most important thing. Once you start getting the hang of doing that, you find that, oh, okay, I'll know how to navigate my path, navigate my way. But you cannot know of it from your ego mind. You have to be at the soul level, at consciousness. And that's why I say for humans, it's so easy to get it. There are many, many, many rivers that go to the ocean. Many, many paths. But understanding that there's an ocean, it's a very, very important thing. And understanding that the laws that govern the waves at the top of the ocean, of the top of the seas, the rocky, waves, but underneath that, there is a depth and quiet, calmness, power, gentleness, in the depth of the ocean. And you want to bring that power that's driving your life, which is already happening to 120 trillion cells in your body. So why aren't we more in touch with that power within each one of us? Whatever you call your power. Some people call it the superpower. So we all take breath into life and will most certainly all lose breath of life to transition. Why taking stock of breath is so valuable. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. So I'm going to start something here today. And how many of you feel tired out, exhausted? You just write here if that's one of your problems areas, tired out, exhaustion. I'm sorry, I had to have this conversation with all of you. Watching you go from 10 to 3 to 5 to less than 2, 0. It's like, wow, you're doing this ding dong all your life. And of course you'll be exhausted, right? So what can you do about it, right? So there is a particular form of exercise called the Kriya. The Kriya is it's like a yoga, it's a techniques of breath. So one of the things that, I do with people is pranayams, the simple act of breath. That's beautiful. And how many of you are yoga and especially you do yoga breathing pranayams? How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yes. Okay. So we could just enjoy it. You want to close your right nostril. So everybody follow with your thumb. Those of you, how many of you are on the phone? The number of you without your video on. You close your right nostril very gently. Don't press it hard. And breathe out through your left. And then breathe in through your right, or through your left. And then close your left nostril, see, like this, and then breathe out through your right. Again, close your right nostril, breathe in through your left. Take as deep breath as you can. Just be aware of your breath, and then you close it and breathe out through your right nostril. So no holding breath, it's just breathing in. So now breathe in from your right nostril, close your right, and breathe out through your left. And now breathe in from the left nostril, close your left, and breathe out through your right. So you don't have to go like this. So use your thumb and your ring finger. So you're just doing this. Good. Yeah. And just do it for 5 counts. So 1 count is breathe out through your left and breathe in. Close your left nostril, breathe out through your right and breathe in. That's 1 cycle. Now do 5 of the cycles. So breathe out. And close your eyes now that you've mastered how to do it. Just watch your breath. Just 5 rounds. If you have a blocked nose, don't press your nostril too hard. Right? Can some of you tell me how you feel? No change? Feel relaxed? What's your number? Dan, is it high in stress? 3, 4. Okay. Yeah. We just did simple pranayama, clarity, peaceful. That is your vintage point. Nobody has to tell you anything. You don't have to follow a recording. You just did alternate nose breathing, alternate nostril breathing. Thank you, Michelle, for bringing it to my attention. Right? Now, there's one more breath for those of you who are really tired and exhausted, right? And I do it throughout the day. So this is a cool thing. You stick out your tongue as far as it will go. Look like a funny face. So just put out your tongue out. Good. And now you're going to do a breathing. Tummy breathing. You want to hear yourself. 21 times. So count it yourself. So Sandy, your tongue has to be out. Now close your mouth and just like you're grinning and your tongue goes back to the back of your throat. 21 times. Make the sound. And then take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Hold as long as you can. And just feel the buzz in your body. And just feel your energy level. Just write down. Sometimes things look a little bit clearer. So do it again. So sticking it, and I'll close your eyes this time. And I want you to count. So when you stick out your tongue, watch me. Your abdomen is going up. Good. Do 21 times, close your eyes, and then do the tongue at the back of your throat as far as you will stretch. Close your eyes and go. Again, your tummy going in and out 21 times. And then take a deep breath in and hold it as long as you can. And you'll notice as you do it, your lungs fill up with air better and better. Okay? So everybody, let's just do it. If you've started it, good. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and come back. Like a dog pant, Michelle says. Yes. How was that for you? Any shifts? Remember, we are watching awareness inside. I find it allows me to hold my breath longer. Yes, relaxing. I feel sparkly. Yes, nice word, Amy. Feel like my body is smiling, lighter. Simple Kriya. It's a yogic practice known only to a few people. You have to have an enlightened teacher teach you. So the alternate nose breathing, and you learned how to do the Kriya practice. Again, a breathing. And you notice that suddenly you feel clearer. Do it first thing in the morning when you wake up, or if you remember it, go to the shower and do it. But I prefer you to be able to close your eyes when you do the practice. So be in a safe way. And you notice that, wow. So it's not just increased oxygen. It's also bringing your consciousness into balance with your body, mind, and soul. Any comments? Anything else that you find out of these two simple practices with breath? So want this session to be like for you. I learned Kriya 2 weeks ago. Oh, okay. There are many different types of Kriya. Okay, many, 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 many different. This is called a breath Kriya, and it's part of a larger practice. And it's like, wow, full body connection. Yes. You just feel energized. You just feel like, wow, I just woke up. So if you have trouble in the morning waking up, just do these breath practices. And then throughout the day, you just find every time you do it, you just want to drink lots of water and you like it. So I just want you to write down what's your level of anxiety now. So keep a notebook with you. Oh yeah, I got very high. I just watched, like Deborah beautifully said, I watched the news and it's like, all the bad things can happen and my mind is going on a commentary. It's like, and you don't have access to your inner resource, right? Good. 2, 6, 4, 4, 4, 3. You always want to be like true to yourself. You want to find out where you are at. Melanie, Michelle, okay. Yeah, good. Always keep looking at your numbers. Okay, I'm very stressed out right now. So look at your thoughts. Where are my thoughts pointing at? And one of the most important things to do, what we did last session, is also your hand on the heart, right? And we did the gratitude. So just closing your eyes and breathing in and out. When you breathe in, abdomen goes out. When you breathe out, abdomen goes in. And your heart, you're breathing through your heart. Think of one person that you love. And just think about them and give gratitude for their support throughout your life. Just have the memory come up in the screen in your heart, what this person has done for you. Maybe they prepared some delicious meals for you. Appreciate. I had a client who said, his girlfriend made cheesecake on his birthday. His face lighted up. Think of what this person has done for you. Being there for you, supported you, loved you. And just breathing in and out. And now put your hands on your lap. How many of you got into the field of gratitude? You just had a warm, fuzzy feeling. Good. You just less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. So if we spend a couple of minutes a day thinking of different people in our lives and giving thanks to them from our heart, that's a different direction to face life from. Gratitude. How many of you do gratitude journaling? Lots of fond memories. Sandy, oh, beautiful. Every day, Caitlin. That's good. So I want you to now get into a higher level of gratitude, right? This program is all about as much as I can give you right now. So if you have a beat, poems in AM and before bed, good. If you have a beat, or you can use your fingers, think of 4. And you'll notice in 5 minutes, you're in the field. If you don't know what a field is, just do that for 5 minutes. Think of all the things you're grateful for. You may even think of some horrific circumstances in your life that, as a hindsight, you're grateful for, right? And just close your eyes. Just think about it and just breathing in and out, being aware of your breath. Each person, spend some time. You don't have to run through this exercise. If 7.4 billion people on the planet did this right now, each of us have different things and people that we're grateful for. And all of us will go into that field. Field of what? Presence, love. Just getting into the field. You could be in a train. You could be doing this. Guess what happens? The most amazing miracles start coming to you. When you function in life, face life from this attitude of just giving thanks, you realize 5 minutes has just gone by, 10 minutes go by. I do this 15 minutes at a time, and it's like, wow, you're in the deepest possible meditative states. Because you won't run out of things. If you run out of things, like I told you the example of my client's granddaughter who is facing inoperable cancer, brain tumor. And she does this. She has a bead that her grandmother, my client, gave, and she does that. This little child was crying because the first time she did it, she couldn't get through the beads. And I said, you can tell her to give thanks to all her organs in her body and all her friends. And then she was just going on. And then naturally, she just went into the field. As you train yourself to be in the gratitude field, now go and look at the terrible news. Deborah, look at the news after you're going through that. It won't hurt you so much. Oh yeah, these people are doing what they are doing. Okay. And you go on with your life. So if you have a freaking out moment with the news, how it's presented, do your gratitude first. Go deeper in. The moment you know you're not deep enough, then the news is scary to you. I need to do another couple more minutes. Watch it as an experiment on yourself. And you find that you're looking at life in a totally different way. Yeah, this situation is here. but I am in my gratitude space. And that space is where your creativity is going to come full force. Yeah, I know I can't do that, but you know what? I could call this and I could do this and I could find out this. And that creativity is what we want to encourage. That resilience is what we want to see. Your natural self is full of resilience, full of courage, full of compassion and understanding. It's not about judging. God doesn't judge us. Why should we bother? But you realize when that compassion and that understanding comes, you want to help the world. But if you don't help yourself, you can't help the world. And your true self will tell you, this is the way you can do it, provided you're safe and the other person can be helped. It's amazing the thin, tightrope line that suddenly blossoms out. The ideas will flourish. Or you could get together with other like-minded people and start doing amazing, amazing things. You won't know what awaits you on the other side. So I highly encourage people to do your gratitude. So for me, I have to do 15 minutes at a time. 5 minutes, not enough. I can be in a nice, fluffy space, but I really want to get to the business of what am I going to do about the situation, right? It takes about 15 minutes. It's serious work, but it's fun work. It's your life. Give thanks to all your body parts. You have them. And then practice your Kriya breathing exercises. It improves the capacity of your lungs. The meditation and the understanding that the commentary by your thoughts on the situation, it ain't helping. It's just a program way that you have. The programs are running to think about certain situations in a rigid fashion. It's not helping you. Drop it. Catch it and say, thank you, but no thanks. Face the direction of gratitude. And then see where your commentary is like quiet. Your thoughts get quiet. Then fresh new insight can start coming up. So when you do your stress solution session with me, we will look at what is that particular thought that comes out. What is the underlying challenging thought that comes out? What is the third level thought that comes up? You may not even know you're functioning at that. It's like an iceberg with that 99% of the ice is under the submerged in the icy oceans, right? You only have that tip, conscious thought. No, there are others that are working in conjunction with that. That's giving you stress. Those are your hidden challenges. We want to uncover the hidden challenges so that you're like, oh, so that was what was worrying me. Yes. And then we can plan on how do you want to live, if you want to live a stress-free, productive life, I have to be in flow. Everyone needs to be in flow. So those of you who know flow, the flow states, can you please write down you've been in the flow state? You are engaged in the task. You don't have distractions. And you can just function in there and you finish your best work. So those of you who have been in the flow state, or most of us would have been, when you do something you love to do. Yeah. Right. So you want to see that flow state. It can come anywhere, anytime. You can bring it on. If you don't have all those challenges, and knowing that when you have a goal, it has to be followed by an obstacle. I'm giving you a little bit more than just meditation. So meditation it's like what Buddha said, meditation is like a boat on the ocean of samsara, the life and death, troubles after troubles and challenges after challenges. So it's like a boat. Meditation is like a boat going on that massive ocean of all the challenges in this life and many lifetimes, if you believe in reincarnation. But it's just a boat. But where is the boat going to? Across to the shore of wisdom. Where is that wisdom? Within us. So you have to know, okay, I came to the nice quiet place and now I can go to sleep. No, you want to use that energy of your consciousness, of your true self into wow, now what do I do? I need my creativity. Do you see? So it's not just about meditation to escape. No, we want to use that energy in our lives. We want to be open, awake, energized, inspired, and go in the flow of doing something that we want to do. I don't want to be blocked. And I don't want to say to myself, I have no way of doing this. It's impossible. No, it's possible. Your true self can tell you, lead you there, or point you to a direction, go there and find out more about this. I've been like to bed and I needed to go to sleep. And then suddenly I have a intuition, a creative insight. Check this out. And oh, do I have to drag myself out of bed now? Yes. You go. And there it was, the answer, the solution was staring at you in front of you. So how many of you have had that? Deborah, you raised your hands. It's good for you. Yes. Go with the flow. The flow bell angels you're talking to here, right, Dan? Yes. Why can't we be in flow all our lives? What's keeping us? No, we all can. There's nothing to say, I'm not educated enough, I'm not fat enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not deserving enough. Oh my God, all those beliefs are your mind, ego, self talking, commentary. It's all BS, because when you go in and say, where did that thought go? I don't have it. And the energy will come for you to do that. Monkey mind, yes. I smell a t-shirt slogan. You guys are phenomenal. You have no idea how fun this is. It's like, wow, flow, enjoyment, sheer presence. Rivka, you have got to write down all these comments. You're now in the flow state. You're now in a creative state. Now, do we need the anxiety and the worry? Yeah, because you know you can, that's only the thought, the feeling. But what we're looking for, consciousness, is way beyond that. And that presence within us is all the time there. Presence, it's not your presence or my presence, it's presence. That's the flow state. That's the state of creativity. Look at this, monkey brains, best scene in Romancing the Stone movie. Oh, it's so funny, dude. Right? But you know you're watching a movie. That's your mind chatter. That's a movie. COVID-20. Oh, you may be right. But whatever it is, it's a sense of isolating ourselves, going, an opportunity to go within. And check it out. Your space, you can check it out. Don't have to be fearful. If you know 2 or 3 people, gather and just go meditate. Come for your session with me. Be clear what you want. If there are programs that I can offer you, well and good. If there is a match, if there is something that you need to do for yourself, plenty of free sessions. You know, the flowbell.org is giving that. Okay. Any questions here? I'm just going to do one more meditation, all right? Maybe about five minutes or so. Is that okay? I want you to really get it. This is called a tree meditation, right? How many of you love trees? I'm just being mindful of the time. Yay, we are tree huggers here. Okay, so you don't have to be a tree hugger, okay? For those of you who are just like loving trees. And you're going to find yourself really sleeping well tonight, okay? And get up refreshed, re-energized, and inspired tomorrow morning, all right? So close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. Back straight. If you have a chair, feet on the ground, butt on the chair. Good. Just ground yourself. Good grounding exercise. So this is called the tree meditation. So just start with breathing in and out, belly breathing. When you breathe in, belly fills with air, and breathe out. Belly button goes closer to the spine. The tree that we're using here can be your favorite tree. You don't have to know the name. The tree symbolizes the impersonal self that is immune to the temptations to react to either of the opposites in life, such as hot and cold, light and dark, pain and pleasure. The tree is the impersonal self, the neutral self. It is the only legitimate crutch or security symbol. So ask your soul, your consciousness, your higher self, to show you the tree in some way or the other. You'll start seeing it in your mind's eye. Pick a nice, strong tree. You may be reminded of one growing in your garden, recall one from your childhood, or remember one you have seen in a vacation or in a photograph or painting. As soon as you have identified, imagine you're walking towards it. Put your arms around the trunk to embrace it like a greeting, like an old friend. To satisfy yourself, put your arms around it and embrace it again. And notice that it is firmly planted in the ground. And tug on the trunk. It's firm. Turn around with your back about 6 inches from the trunk. Sit down and lean back. And you may relax in the knowledge that it is your only true, reliable leaning post. So let yourself fall against the trunk rather than exerting your will by leaning against it. Your tree is here to support you. Now identify with the tree as it thrusts its roots deep into Mother Earth, our cosmic mother, and reaches up with its branches and leaves towards the sun, our cosmic father. Feel as if you can do what the tree does. As you breathe in, feel that you're open to receive whatever the cosmic mother or Mother Earth is giving you. So, breathing in through the roots, your feet firmly planted in the ground. Breathing through your feet, all the wonderful nourishing gifts your mother, your cosmic mother is giving you. As you breathe out, let go any disappointments, hurt, guilt, whatever your human mother was unable to give you for whatever reason, such as affection and love, support, validity, acceptance. You can breathe it in from your cosmic mother or Mother Earth. And so just breathe out any negative feelings, memories, experiences, or anything that could prevent you from receiving what you need from your Earth Mother. Just breathe it out, such as feelings of rejection, lack of love, acceptance. All you need to do is take a couple of deep breaths. Just 2 or 3. And just relax. Your cosmic mother or Earth Mother knows exactly what you want, which your human mother cannot. Impossible for her. She does the best she can. So breathe in whatever you need. Now mimic the tree as it reaches up with its branches and leaves towards the sun, the cosmic father. Breathe in whatever you're receiving from that source of nourishment. You may ask to be given those things that your human father was for some reason unable to give you, such as courage, validation, acceptance, affection, unconditional love and support. Anything that comes to your mind, just breathe it in from your cosmic father, the Father Son. As you breathe out, let go anything that could prevent you from receiving what you need from this source, such as sadness, anger, frustration, disappointment. Let it go. Or any other negative emotions you're ready to release. Just take 2 or 3 breaths in this fashion, one-on-one with the Cosmic Father. Now breathing 2 to 3 times from both these sources simultaneously, and breathe out anything you were still retaining that could block the flow. Observe the 2 streams of energy moving into all parts of you, including all the vacuum cells and spaces in your body, mind, emotions, and soul. and relax with the balance they're bringing you. And slowly bring your attention back to the present. Repeat to yourself your date, time of the day and location, and slowly take over control of your body. And tell yourself you can come back to this tree. The only true leaning post within you. Anytime you want guidance from your cosmic mother and cosmic father, which together form your higher consciousness or your true self. We're using the Maitri here to connect to our inner being. And slowly, when you're ready, come back and open your eyes. Stretch yourself, stretch your neck. Sometimes if you do this, even before you go to sleep, you just let go all tension within you, right? And you just feel firmly grounded. So I'd like to hear, if you could write in the chat box, how this tree meditation was for you. Something you're familiar with, did you enjoy that? And drink lots of water after that. Wonderful, magical. I enjoy the deep breaths. Very nurturing, very relaxing. It is. You see, we just said at about 5 to 7 minutes. That's it. Your true self is always here for you. Always here. All you have to do is reach in and say, what do I do now? Deep breath work today we did. We did the aware that a commentary is there. You were aware of your exercises that, even if you stretch, you can do your breathing together with that. The tree meditation, the maypole meditation, breathing in lots of good stuff that you want, letting go, releasing what you don't want. Could be sadness, could be hurts that you've been carrying around for such a long time. This is an opportunity for all of us to release it in a group. I hope then you'll be able to do more work with this wonderful, wonderful group of advisors in all the things that, the advisors are going to be doing, the filmmaking, the documentary, the writing. You find that as you go deep within, you will be making use of everything, all the gifts that you've been given. Bring it out. And if anything stops you, book a session with me. Let's just see what the hang up is. All right? Any questions here? Beautiful, light, and calming. If anyone has a headache, I have to tell you this, it's because you came out very fast. Go back and just be quiet in there, in that moment. Close your eyes. So always bring up yourself very carefully and gently. Don't be in a hurry to come out. Okay? Thank you so much for this and for all your energy you've shared here tonight. Oh, you're so welcome, Sharon. All of you. My love and blessings to each and every one of you. And I look forward to seeing, I've had so many calls and so many sessions booked that you get all the help that you need. And this is a wonderful opportunity to finally crack some, stuff and challenges out of the way, right? Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.